Caught in the aftermath of narcissistic abuse, individuals find themselves entangled in a perplexing paradox: the uncanny ability to believe anything the abuser says. In the subtle dance of manipulation, we unravel 10 compelling reasons behind this baffling phenomenon, exploring the psychological intricacies that render victims captive to the deceptive narrative spun by narcissists. Join us in decoding the enigma of why those abused by narcissists often succumb to a web of unquestioning belief. Reason number 1: the illusion of trust. Individuals abused by narcissists often find themselves trapped in the illusion of trust crafted by the narcissist. The manipulative charm and calculated charisma create a facade that conceals the true nature of the narcissist. Imagine the allure of trust, a beguiling mirage that beckons victims into a distorted reality where the narcissist's words become an unquestioned authority. In the deceptive dance orchestrated by narcissists, trust becomes a delicate thread that binds victims to their manipulators. The belief in anything uttered by a narcissist is an unwitting surrender to the illusion, a testament to the potency of the deceptive atmosphere carefully cultivated by these masterful orchestrators of deceit. Reason number 2: emotional dependency. Narcissists excel in fostering emotional dependency, creating a dynamic where victims come to rely on the narcissist for validation and a sense of self-worth. The emotional void left by the narcissist's intermittent displays of affection becomes a fertile ground for manipulation. Picture the emotional entanglement, a complex weave that leaves victims yearning for the sporadic morsels of approval and affirmation. In this web of emotional dependency, the narcissist's words become a lifeline, an emotional sustenance that victims cling to in a desperate attempt to fill the void. Believing anything the narcissist says becomes a subconscious survival strategy, a way to secure the emotional sustenance crucial for navigating the tumultuous landscape of an abusive relationship. Reason number 3: gaslighting erodes reality. Gaslighting, a hallmark tactic of narcissistic abuse, systematically erodes the victim's sense of reality. The narcissist's artful manipulation of facts and events leaves victims questioning their own perceptions. Imagine the disorienting effects of gaslighting, a psychological erosion that blurs the lines between truth and fiction. In this distorted reality, victims become susceptible to believing anything the narcissist says, as the gaslighting narrative takes precedence over their own understanding of events. The insidious nature of gaslighting transforms the narcissist's words into a twisted version of reality that victims reluctantly adopt as their own. Reason number 4: fear of retribution. Narcissists instill a pervasive fear of retribution in their victims, creating an environment where questioning the narcissist's words carries severe consequences. The specter of punishment looms large, whether through emotional manipulation, isolation, or more overt forms of abuse. Picture the oppressive atmosphere, a constant reminder that challenging the narcissist's narrative invites swift and painful repercussions. In the face of this fear, victims choose to believe anything the narcissist says as a survival mechanism. The perceived safety in compliance becomes a stark contrast to the potential hazards of defiance, fostering a mindset where unquestioning acceptance is a means of self-preservation. Reason number 5: emotional exploitation. Narcissists skillfully exploit the emotions of their victims, manipulating vulnerabilities for their own gain. The narcissist's adeptness at identifying and capitalizing on emotional weaknesses creates a power dynamic where the victim's emotional landscape is meticulously navigated by the abuser. Imagine the emotional puppetry, a calculated dance that leaves victims ensnared in a web of manipulation. In this emotionally charged environment, the narcissist's words become potent tools of influence. Victims, driven by the desire for emotional validation, readily believe anything the narcissist says as a desperate attempt to garner fleeting moments of approval and connection. Hello there, Spot the Narcissist community. Shockingly, 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. If you're getting value from this video, a thumbs up and subscribe would be excellent. It's a small gesture, but it makes a big difference for our channel. Thanks. Let's continue. Reason number 6. Isolation breeds dependence. Narcissists systematically isolate their victims, severing ties with friends, family, and external support systems. The resulting isolation leaves victims dependent on the narcissist for companionship and validation. Picture the lonely existence, a deliberate estrangement that amplifies the narcissist's influence over the victim's perception of reality. In this vacuum of external perspectives, victims become more susceptible to believing anything the narcissist says. The absence of alternative viewpoints creates a distorted echo chamber where the narcissist's words reverberate unchallenged, solidifying their hold on the victim's psyche. Reason number 7. Manipulation of empathy. Narcissists exploit their victims' empathy, leveraging it as a tool for manipulation. The calculated presentation of vulnerability and emotional distress by the narcissist triggers the victim's innate compassion. Imagine the emotional tugging, a strategic maneuver that elicits a visceral response from victims compelled to alleviate the narcissist's apparent suffering. In the manipulation of empathy, victims willingly suspend their disbelief and believe anything the narcissist says, driven by a genuine desire to provide comfort and support. The narcissist's adept use of emotional theatrics becomes a potent weapon that blurs the lines between real distress and manipulative theatrics. Reason number 8. Illusion of superior knowledge. Narcissists craft an illusion of superior knowledge, positioning themselves as authorities on various subjects. This strategic positioning creates a power dynamic where victims perceive the narcissist as possessing insights beyond their own understanding. Imagine the intellectual enticement, a seductive allure that encourages victims to defer to the narcissist's purported wisdom. In the realm of this illusion, victims come to believe that anything uttered by the narcissist is irrefutable. The perceived intellectual gap becomes a chasm of influence, where the narcissist's words are elevated to the status of unquestionable truths. Reason number 9. Desperation for validation. Victims of narcissistic abuse often harbor a desperate need for validation, seeking approval from the very source that withholds it, the narcissist. The chronic deprivation of validation becomes a powerful motivator for victims to believe anything the narcissist says. Picture the yearning for affirmation, a hunger that eclipses rational scrutiny in the pursuit of fleeting moments of acknowledgement. In the desperate quest for validation, victims willingly embrace the narrative spun by the narcissist, suspending disbelief in favor of the temporary relief provided by the illusion of approval. The belief in the narcissist's words becomes an inadvertent surrender to the emotional starvation inflicted by the abuser. Reason number 10. Cycle of idealization and devaluation. Narcissists engage in a cyclical pattern of idealization and devaluation, oscillating between showering their victims with adoration and subjecting them to brutal criticism. This unpredictable cycle creates a psychological whiplash, leaving victims perpetually on edge and yearning for the return of the narcissist's fleeting approval. Imagine the emotional roller coaster, a tumultuous ride that blurs the boundaries between love and rejection. In the throes of this cycle, victims willingly believe anything the narcissist says during moments of idealization, clinging to the illusion of acceptance. The perpetual hope for a return to the initial euphoria becomes a potent force, eclipsing rational skepticism and fostering a continued belief in the narcissist's words. Unraveling the enigma of why individuals abused by narcissists believe anything a narcissist says reveals a complex interplay of manipulation, emotional entanglement, and the insidious erosion of reality. Far from a simple act of blind acceptance, this phenomenon is deeply rooted in the intricate web woven by narcissists, where belief becomes a precarious lifeline in the tumultuous landscape of narcissistic abuse. Understanding these dynamics is a crucial step toward breaking free from the clutches of manipulation and reclaiming autonomy in the aftermath of narcissistic relationships.